This is the secret of the successful people. This is what I've committed my life to doing. I told my mom when I was 16 years old, one day I'm gonna be successful, and one day I'm gonna help a lot of people. I always say this, pay the price today so you can pay any price in the future. My buddies were traveling, seeing the world, and I didn't have any of those experiences. I've had people tell me, hey, you market too much, you market too aggressively. My office tells me we hit the list too much. Look, I've been ridiculed by my peers, by customers, and by competition. I've been judged for working too much, wanting too much, being too colorful, being inappropriate, insensitive, and too out there. I'm trying to figure it out. I've been threatened, I've been sued, I've been betrayed by friends, I've been ripped off, and I've been copied. I've been married 15 years to Elena. Not one time has she ever said, you work too much. Not one time. She has never said to me, what are you doing getting home so late? She knows what I'm doing. I'm trying to get to 10x levels. It's probably going to be 30 years for you to doubt, uncertainty, insecurities, rejection. If anybody thinks you're going to be successful without paying that price, you're wrong.
Need motivation?
Watch a top 10 with Believe Nation.
Hey, it's Evan Carmichael, and I make these videos because in my first business, I struggled to believe in myself. I quit on my business partner. And the thing that saved me was watching the successful stories of entrepreneurs. They gave me the inspiration to keep going, as well as the strategies of what to do. And quite honestly, I still need their stories and motivation today as well. So today, let's learn from one of the best, Grant Cardone, and my take on his top 10 rules of success. Enjoy. Rule number 2 is work hard.
You know, this concept of work, that the wealthy don't work hard. I hear this constantly. You know, rich people don't work hard, you know. Rich people work smart. That you gotta be kidding, right? Rich people take all the vacations. It's not true. Rich people don't take all the vacation. The vacation industry literally is built off the middle class, not the wealthy. Now, you might not like this concept, but I'm going to tell you the truth. This is a report that just recently came out, okay? One of the most controversial issues surrounding inequality is work effort. This is a concept of why do the rich get richer and those people that don't have or don't have enough keep sliding down the scale. And that's what I do in these grant rants is I'm talking to the middle class about, look, do you see it disappearing? It's going away, okay? The middle class is getting erased. I came from the middle class and I see what's happening to it. What we used 20 or 30 years ago or 40 years ago to build a middle class is not working for us today. For instance, work hard, okay? You see there's this concept that no, you don't need to work hard, you just need to work smart. If you work smart, get the right connections, you'll get rich. That's not true. This is what it says in this article. I found this in the Wealth Report. Do the wealthy work harder than the rest? You might want to Google it. A new study offers evidence that higher education and therefore higher earning, okay, Americans do indeed spend more time working and less time on leisure than poorer income groups, okay? It's been validated in this study. It says, in fact, while income inequality may be growing, which it is, leisure inequality, time spent on enjoyment, okay, time spent on enjoyment is growing in a mirror image. What is that saying? People that are actually making less money and less wealth are actually spending more time in leisure. Why? Because of myths. You were taught a myth. You were taught this concept of enjoy my life. You know, I gotta enjoy my life. I need to enjoy the day. The wealthy don't think like that. I'm telling you, the most successful people don't think about enjoying life. I gotta enjoy. They think about luxury, man. They think about the big bang. They think about the big, big win, not the little 2-day vacation. What they do is they'll suffer their whole life so that they can go on vacation later when there's wealth for 2 and 3 months at a time. You get it? Work hard, okay? Work hard. It is a myth that you're not going to work hard. I'm working harder today than I ever have in my life. Most people only work hard enough that they're always working. You get it? Most people only work so hard that they feel like they're always slaves. Remember this. Anytime you feel like a slave, you've let somebody else be your master. Do you know what I'm talking about? Junk. People buy junk. People go on vacations. People waste time, and they don't have any money. Don't let that be you.
Rule number 3 is think different.
I am not here to satisfy you. I am not here so you like, oh, Grant, I like him. I don't care if you like me or not, man. I want to move a handful of people in the room to go from 400 grand a year to start thinking about how do I make 4 million? Big boy right over here popping out. What'd you make last year? What'd you gross last year? 2.7. How does anybody live on $2.7 million a year? You need to make it impossible, dude. I can't, my plane eats $2.7 million a year. This dude needs to think different. He's running out of time, man. You guys all in the room, man, you're running out of time. You're in a space that is so frothy with opportunity, it's unbelievable. You're making sense of less than you can get. This is my mama. My mama saying, I love you, boy, just the way you are. Mama, I made $10 million on one deal. That's great. But son, I love you just the way you are. I'm like, I don't love me just the way I am. Because I'm doing deals where I know I could make 100. Okay, how many of you in the room are operating below your potential? Let me see a hand. If you know you're operating below your potential, man, please tell me you're operating. How many of you, let me see a hand again, if you're operating below your potential? Okay, your finances should indicate that. Your finances are a way to tell the truth about who you are, your space. Like if you're an Uber driver and you're making $2.7 million a year, pat on the back. You're in this space making $2.7 million a year? Come on, man. Your company's doing what, $2 billion? $2 billion, and you guys aren't getting it all. Would you say that you're not getting it all?
We got a lot of room.
A lot of room. He's telling me he's in the first innings of his game. So I'm like, hey, what do I need to do? Let's say 400 is the number. Then I'm going to take this and I'm just going to 10x that. And I'm going to build a business plan for $4 million. And I'm going to quit thinking that I got to do a 4-minute mile. I'm going to quit thinking about the physical universe. What can I do to produce $4 million worth of income? Is it here? Is it outside of here? Is it here and outside of here? How many customers would I need? This is what my goal for you today is, to leave here and say, dude, I ain't satisfied. Okay? I want to raise the numbers on this room. So the next time there's 75 people here and everybody adds a 0 to your income. Oh, by the way, if you love yourself at 400 grand, mama, if you love your son just the way he is at 400, would you love me a little more if I add a 0? No, she couldn't love me anymore. It wasn't up to her to love me. It was up to me to love what I'm doing every day, right? You guys are showing up, you're working your ass off every day, right or wrong? How many of you making calls every day? You're like, I do not want to make this call, and you make it anyway. Good, then get paid for it. Get paid some real money for it, man. Okay? Get paid some real money, just add a 0. How many calls would I have to make? Is this even possible? He's doing part of it. He told me he's not tapped into all of it. He's hitting 70% of that number. If everybody walked out of here and said, hey, I'm gonna build a $4 million plan. I'm gonna tell you a little game I play. I got 14 little companies. I run 14 little companies while I'm doing deals, while I'm speaking to you today, right? I'm still running them in my head right now. I got them all open. I got browsers open all over the place. Counselor said, you got ADD. I said, I ain't got ADD. I don't know how to add. I multiply. I'm done adding a customer. I want to multiply customers. I don't want to add orders. I want to multiply my orders, okay? I consider myself a decent salesperson. But it doesn't matter if you're a great salesperson. If you don't add business to the sale, if you don't become a business person, you can't build out zeros. Because you're going to hit a place where they can't pay you anymore, right or wrong. You got to start thinking about being a business inside the business. How do I add zeros? How do I grow the top line of my business? Okay. So today I'm thinking, man, I'm going to build a $10 billion business. I just go into it backwards. I'm going to build a $10 billion business. I'm going to take the 14 little things that I have, probably get down to 3 or 4 of them. How do I build 10 billion? I know the money's on the planet. Say yay if you agree there's $10 billion on planet Earth. Dude, you could suck $10 billion off planet Earth today and they wouldn't even give you, you wouldn't even make the paper. I just got to think different, and I can't compare it to my upbringing.
Rule number 4 is don't waste time.
Have you ever seen how people talk about different days of the week? You know, like, oh man, I hate Mondays. Or
Wednesday's hump day, or hey, thank God it's Friday, or my God, I can't wait till the weekend. When you hear people say things like Monday's this, I hate it, Wednesday's hump day, oh my God, I can't wait till the weekend, you are talking to people that, whether they know it or not, are unproductive people. Unproductive first in their minds, limiting their potential and their ability to produce at higher levels because they are basically taking 4 days of the week and throwing them away. I hate Mondays. Wednesday's hump day. No, Wednesday ain't hump day, dude. Wednesday is the 4th day of the week. First of all, most people don't know zilch about the days of the week. Sunday's the first day, not the last day. Monday's the 2nd day. Tuesday's the 3rd day. 4th day is Wednesday. The 5th day is Thursday. Friday's the 6th day. And Saturday is the finish of the week. Otherwise, you don't know what you're talking about, okay? And you can't waste any of them. You only have a handful. Most people don't even know how many Sundays they have, but they talk about their weekends being the greatest time of their life. And the truth is, most people just get in trouble on the weekends, okay? What am I telling you here? I'm telling you this. You got to start paying attention to your time, your thoughts, your ideas, and you got to start paying attention to the people that are around you and what they think. If the people you hang with hate Mondays, you're not going to be very productive on Mondays. Would you agree? If Wednesdays is a day named after camels and you don't live in the desert, you're just freaking confused. And if the weekend is the only thing you got cherished, boom, you need to blow your brains out because your life is going to be long, ugly, and unproductive.
Also, to make sure you're actually taking action after watching this video, I've designed a special free worksheet just for this video. The worksheet will highlight all of the lessons learned in this video, as well as pull out our 3 favorite learnings and quotes that will inspire you to actually do something. The worksheet will also give you space to write down what your key takeaways are and your specific plan of action to make sure you're getting results. If you want the worksheet designed specifically for this video, absolutely for free, there's a link in the description below. Go click on it and start building the momentum in your life and your business. I'll see you there. Rule number 5 is study successful people.
When I studied, and this is really, really important for everybody, you guys start studying successful people. You know, if you want to be a salesman the rest of your life and live off commissions the rest of your life, great. Study the best salespeople out there. But I'm going to tell you something. If you want to make your life easier, start figuring out how to scale your sales. And the way to scale your sales is through marketing. I'd rather have 10 people buy from me than have to sell one person. Yeah. You know, I don't want the hard sale anymore. I want the easy sales. And this isn't about like, yeah, I don't mind working hard. I know how to work hard, but I don't want to work hard every day. Yeah. I'd like to work more at collecting more fruit that wants to fall off the tree, the easy sales. And marketing is the only way to make sales easy. Word tracks do not make the sale easier. I mean, they'll make it better. You know, it'll handle an objection. Follow-up, you know, tremendous follow-up will almost guarantee you a sale. But in between the follow-up, if you want to speed up your sales cycle, for instance, if you're in a sales cycle that typically is very, very long, the only way to make that sales cycle shorter is through marketing and trust. And marketing is the only thing that builds trust. It's not what you say, or how you dress. It is the frequency at which you show up in people's ideas or thoughts. It's called omnipresence. And we'll teach you how to do that in January.
Rule number 6 is overcome fear and insecurity.
I was presenting in a way that appeared confident and self-assured, and that the person asking the question actually doesn't know whether I'm confident and self-assured. You don't know. See, it was his perception of me, not the reality. So I basically wrote this article about 5 tips to handle insecurity, and I want to share them with you right now. The number one thing you need to know about fear, doubt, and insecurity is this. Most important thing, everyone has them. Everyone experiences them. It's not like, oh my gosh, I'm so vulnerable and so weak and I'm so insecure. Dude, everybody has it. I don't care. There are 3 or 4 or 5 people maybe over the entire history of the world that haven't experienced fear, insecurity, and doubt. The rest of us are normal. Okay, I have it all the time. I have fear, insecurity, and doubt constantly, and I'm going to tell you exactly how I'm going to handle those in the next 4 steps. The first thing I want you to know is this. It's common. Everybody experiences it. Nobody's beyond it. It doesn't make you bad or weak, okay? You don't need medication for it.
Okay, it's normal. Number two, fill your calendar up. A trick I play with myself not to deal with fear is I fill my calendar, I pack it so tight. I'm literally starving fear because fear needs time. If you jam your calendar, no white space on the calendar, you'll starve fear. Fear lives on time, okay? Number three, you want to use the fear. Look, whatever I'm scared of doing, I do it as quickly as possible, okay? I actually look for things each day that I'm scared to do. The things that I don't want to do the most, the call that I don't want to make, the visit I don't want to do, the letter I don't want to send out, the email those things are the first things on my list. I literally use fear like a trampoline. I want to jump into it and hope I get some bounce out of it. Fourth thing I want you to do is start going beyond your comfort zones. You got to get outside your comfort zone. 90% of people want to be comfortable. I want to feel good. I want to do what feel good. That's how we end up with, big slurpy drinks with too much sugar in them, and you shoot drugs in your arm, you smoke weed, you go out with a girl or a guy that you know they're no good for you, but you want to feel so good. Successful people don't want to feel good. They want to feel great. Successful people don't want to be comfortable. They want luxury. You see the difference? Do what you're uncomfortable doing. The way to get luxury is to be uncomfortable, not to seek comfort. Get off the lazy boy. A lazy boy is for comfort, okay? You got to get into activity. Do the things you're uncomfortable with. Go places where you're uncomfortable. Visit people you don't know yet. Get out of your comfort zones. The last thing I want you to do, number 5, is I want you to multiply times 10. I talk about it in the 10X rule. Everything you think you need to do, multiply times 10, okay? You dream this high, multiply times 10 and raise it way up. 10X everything, okay? Do it as fast as you possibly can. Know that fear and doubt are normal. They're normal. 10X your activities to where you're like bing, 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 bing. When everybody else quit, you're still bing, 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 and you're still taking action. When the next 2 guys drop off, you're still hitting it, okay? The first 2 guys did 20 things, you do 200, last man standing. It's a rule in the marketplace. Last man standing. Think in terms of actions, not action. There is no one action that you can do that is so unbelievable that it would make a difference. You can't tell me one action. Hit 1 home run, nobody will pay attention to you. Hit 100 home runs and the world will pay attention.
Rule number 7 is learn to handle burnout.
Being an entrepreneur is one of the most exciting things that you can do with your life, and the possibilities are endless. One aspect of running a business that I get asked a lot, okay, over and over, almost every seminar I go to, somebody will walk up to me and say, dude, how do you handle burnout? And my reply is fast and simple. I don't believe in burnout. That's right, I don't believe in burnout. Now, I know if you're experiencing the exhaustion that is associated with this idea of burnout, that nobody can prove, by the way, that this seems impossible to you, that burnout doesn't exist. But I'm telling you, listen to me, burnout is not real. It's made up. Take a step back for just a second while I try to sell you on this idea. And try to remember a time when you were on fire, lit up, excited about being an entrepreneur. See, that's gone, right? Yeah, Grant, I'm burnt out. That's what I'm telling you. No. Go back to the time when you were lit up on fire. You couldn't sleep at night. You didn't need to eat, okay? All you needed was the idea of a future you had for this dream, this idea, this business, whatever. See, at that time, you were goal-driven. The possibilities were enormous. They fed you. You were mission-driven. See, it's when the mission's missing, it's when the mission goes away that a person starts to experience being tapped out or burned out or exhausted. At least this is my experience. Look, when I'm not tapped fully into my future, my goals, the potential, the possibilities, I don't care what the job is. Whether it was me when I was working at McDonald's, the country club, I was working on a rig down in the Gulf of Mexico, or whether I was writing my first book. Look, when your goals aren't big enough, when you're no longer sold on your vision, your purpose, your mission, the symptoms of losing interest, what many call burnout, are experienced. Anytime you stop reaching for massive success, the next thing, you start settling in, getting comfortable. Listen, settle? Oh, I just want to settle down. Dude, why don't you just decide to hate your life every day? See, that's when you start having problems, when you start settling. That's why comfort and complacency are the entrepreneur's worst enemy. In fact, I would tell you this, the comfort and complacency are everybody's worst enemy. The only time I've ever gotten in trouble in my life was when I was bored, complacent, when I was settling. Who wants average? Who wants average? Nobody wants it, okay? Nobody, no matter where you're at in life, you don't want average. But we're surrounded by average people every day, average ideas, average products, average advertising. Only those that have given up on greatness would settle for average. In the United States today, we often hear people say, I just want to be comfortable. Look, folks, that is very dangerous. That is very dangerous to consider the idea of comfort. Such comfort mentality is what sets entrepreneurs and businesses apart. It's what makes people great, is saying, I don't want to be average. Consider business. Consider the number of businesses, or maybe even people you know that were once great. They were on fire. They were doing great things, and they settled down into complacency. They started resting on their laurels. I recently was written by a woman. This was maybe 10 days ago. She told me, thank you, Grant. Today I was fired. I said, what? I read your book, The 10X Rule, and the same week I was fired for being super competitive. This woman was fired for being too competitive, too on fire. And by the way, Grant, thank you, because I had 6 job offers by the end of the week. See, folks, that's where you want to be, even if you're at risk. Entrepreneurs are often criticized for working too hard. Have you been criticized lately? Be criticized. Be obsessed over your future. Be consumed by the possibilities, and people will criticize you. The ambitious should never apologize, for the only people that criticize them are the people that have given up. The ambitious should never, ever apologize, because the only people that criticize them are those people that have given up. Get excited, be excited, stay excited, and never settle.
Rule number 8 is stop being lazy.
Dude, that's not a normal state. That's lazy, okay? That's not normal to be putting your head down on a table, to not be moving snap and pop, to not be adding wood to your fire. Look lazy, as I wrote in this recent article that was read by almost 4 million people with, I think as of today, 14,000 likes and just as many dislikes, even people rageful and angry. Maybe you're getting like that right now about my article that lazy is the new entitlement. Look, just see if this describes you or anyone you know. I only do enough. I make as little as possible. I save as little as possible. I invest as little as possible. I learn as little as possible. And hey, I work as little as possible. And when my 5 days are over with each week, I have to. I must take Saturdays and Sundays off. I'm entitled to it. These are the policies of the lazy, and they are ruining our country. They're ruining anyone that operates with them. Okay? A normal state is not lazy. A lazy person is actually educated, encouraged, acknowledged, and it's allowed. Lazy is an allowed state in organizations. So if you see anybody in your group, in your organization, in your family that's lazy, hey, knock it off, man. It don't work. You end up with too little money, not enough love, not enough work, and not enough customers. Lazy is a failed policy, and I'm here to wake you up about it.
Rule number 9 is stay motivated.
And one thing that has helped me, whether it was writing a book and finishing it, or starting my speaking career when I did it 30 years old, I was going door to door to businesses around America, flew 3 million miles, go to a city, I was living in Houston at the time, in Bel Air, Texas, and I'd fly to Salt Lake City, and I'd call on business owners. I'd set an event 2 weeks in advance, commit to the hotel, fly to Salt Lake City, knew no one knew me, I had no name, no books, there was no social media, and I never felt like doing it. I was scared to death, had no clue what I was doing, didn't know who I was calling on, don't even know how much I believed in what I was doing. Like, I did believe in it, but it was like, I didn't have any statistics or facts or success stories. And regardless of how I felt, just like this morning, regardless of how much doubt there was or uncertainty, fear, no matter who you're watching or who you're following, whether it's a political person, a rapper, movie star, teacher, coach, parents, I don't care how much confidence they put out, how much athlete, how much confidence or certainty that they push out, like project, they wake up. There's days they wake up and they don't feel it. They don't feel it. They don't want to do it. They're uncertain. They're feeling some low-grade depression, whatever you want to call it. Look, I woke up like that this morning. Got up. Family's not here this weekend. Elena's got the kids. She's teaching them how to shoot guns this weekend. And I'm here by myself. So I'm waking up this morning like, I don't want to work out. I missed yesterday. I'm not feeling it. So what do you do? What do you guys do when you don't feel it? So this is what I do. I just get a little closer. This is what I do. I get a little closer, just like I did when I was 30 years old, starting my speaking career. Never thought I'd be considered one of the top 2 or 3 speakers in the world when I was 30 years old. I wanted that, but I didn't know how I was going to get to that. And what I did when I was having to fly to these cities, Salt Lake City, Winnipeg, Saskatoon, Toronto, Vancouver, Chicago, New York, like I had never even been to these places. I was literally flying to cities for the first time in my entire career. Didn't know the language, didn't know the culture, didn't know how those little changes that happened between Toronto and New York and Chicago, Chicago and Dallas and Salt Lake and LA. Those are all very, very different markets and different people and different thinking. Dude, I was terrified. Okay, I'm doing this today to tell you I was terrified. I was so scared most of the time that it felt like not fear, it felt like depression, like I wanted to take the sheets, just pull them over my head. So what I did to conquer that, to handle that, I literally would just get a little closer. I'd get myself a little closer to the action. Like this morning, I just got close to the gym. I actually went and walked by the pool. I have a pool in the same spot that we have a gym on the second floor here. And I walked out there, and as I passed the gym, because they're still doing the social distancing bullshit, there was nobody in here. I'm like, okay, there's nobody in here. It's a sign I'm gonna go in there and work out, okay? So number one, just try getting a little closer to the action. Hope that helps you. Just get a little closer. You don't have to commit to doing it completely. Just get closer to it. I came down here dressed. I put that on before I left, so I was ready. So I got a little closer. Second thing, dude, if it calls you, do it anyway. You know, I coined this phrase years ago. Do it anyway. A buddy of mine, about the same time I was starting my business, I was having a lot of problems in my life. It was before I started my business. I was still in Houston, Texas. I was going through tremendous amounts of uncertainty, doubt about myself. I was in a career transition. I just lost a job, starting my deal. And I went 1 year without working. I've never ever shared this before. 1 year, and I had a little bit of money saved and I was going through it. I looked like I was working every day, but in truth, I was not working. My twin brother actually knew that and finally confronted me, and that's what got me off my ass. But this guy told me, he's like, look, you wake up in the morning and no matter what you're feeling, no matter how much you hurt, if your eyes are bleeding, do it anyway. And that has stuck with me now for 27, 28 years. Do it anyway. No matter how it feels, do it anyway. So number one, get a little closer. Number two, do it anyway. And then number three, okay? Regardless of the outcome of what you did when you showed up to present, make that phone call, go to the workout, once you get in there, come on, man. Give it the best shot you got. Once you're in there, once you get going, just start moving in that direction. Like I just jumped on that thing for 3 minutes. The next thing you know, I'm like, hey, I'm glad I'm in here. So third thing, once you get in there, go all the way, okay? I'm gonna do that right now. God bless you. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're finding greatness in your life. Struggle through, push through. Remember, just get a little closer. 2, do it anyway. 3, once you get in there, put your back into it, put your ass into it, put your head into it, just get into it, because it's probably gonna be easier once you show up to do that than if you hadn't. If you get to number 3 and you're having struggles, remember when you leave, at least you showed up. At least you gave it something, and then do that again tomorrow.
And rule number 10, the last one before some very special bonus clips, is inspire others.
I want to talk to you today about success, all right? I want to how many of you'd like to have success in your life? Okay, what does that mean to you though? You're going to either go get it or somebody else is going to go get it. There's 2 types of people. People that are going to get what they want and the life they want, and people that don't. Life is bad for too many people, good for a bunch of people, and great for this many. The biggest problem I had when I was 15 was I was bored too much. I didn't know anything about potential. I knew I had potential, but the biggest reason I was bored is because I wasn't going after my potential all the time. I challenge you this summer to only be focused on, hey man, what's my potential? No matter how good you play your video game, no matter how good you are in school, no matter how good you are on the field, there's another place where coach is trying to push you to that next level, and that's where it gets exciting. You want goals that are so big that every day you wake up and you're excited, and the reason I wasn't excited when I was your age was because nobody was telling me, man, have some goals, man. Because if you don't have your own goals, this is what you're gonna do. You're gonna spend your whole life making somebody else's dreams come true. This is what you should walk away with today, the gap. The gap is the difference between where you are, where you sit right now, and what? And where you want to be. We're going to give everybody a copy of this one. It says, I am greatness, don't fight it.
You can change my life. Your money cannot change my life. You can give me a stack of money as big as you want. You ain't got enough. There's nobody on this stream, not one person on this stream, a combined 50 of you cannot change my financial life. It's impossible. But you could change my life. Your charity could change my life. It could give us more purpose. You could help me with my foundation in your part of the world. You could help me with my legacy. You could help my children when I'm not here. She's 30 years old, maybe I'm not here, and you're in Singapore, or you're in Dubai, or you're in Lafayette, Louisiana, or you're in Indianapolis, and you see her and she needs some help, you can help me. You can help her. But you can't help her if you ain't got anything. You don't have a job, an opportunity, you don't have money, you're worried about your own stuff, you can't even keep your own refrigerator full. How can you help Sabrina? It's impossible. For those of you who feel like he's preaching at you, it's because you're resisting the lecture. You're resisting the answers. Those of you who are like, give me more, bro, give me more. I need the 6 pieces. It's not about having the 6 pieces of data. It's about executing the 6 pieces of data. So if I didn't care about you guys, I'd just go on with my life and go buy another piece of real estate tomorrow. And then I'd do a second deal and a third deal and a fourth deal and a fifth deal. If it was just about the money, okay? So we're here to help you. Stay here right now. Stay here, stay present. You got to keep making a decision. Okay, let me add a piece. See, Elena's getting it right now. Joe Mascali's getting it. Joe, nice beard, bro. Damn. Incredible, brother. Where are you? Where in the UK are you?
In Essex, just outside of London.
I know where Essex is, okay? You're close to St. Hill, aren't you?
Where?
St. Hill, no? Oh, Sussex. Oh, I thought you said Sussex. Okay, hey, let me ask you something. How often do you have to take care of that beard?
I pretty much stroke it a lot.
Yeah, you stroke yourself a lot, huh?
Yeah, I go to the barber's, get it lined up, but that's pretty much it.
Yeah, but every morning you keep working it out, don't you?
100%. Brush it out in the morning. Yeah, definitely.
There you go. Thank you, mate. Thank you for being here, okay? Now, folks, what is your beard that you take care of every day? Because I know a lot of you think, man, I just can't stay with it. Promise you. I'm going to give you a list of things that you can stay with. In fact, I want you to write these things down. I want you to write down the things that you do every day, because a lot of you think you can't stay with it, and it's a lie. Write down some things that you do every day that take 0 energy, and you do it every day. Joe takes care of his beard. He calls it stroking. He doesn't even call it taking care of the beard. Okay? How many of you put makeup on every day? All you ladies out there, every day you do it. Okay, you do these things naturally. I just want to recover for you. I want to recover for you your belief in yourself. It is not true that you have failed you. You are taking care of you, Stuart, every day. You're taking care of your eyeballs right now. You're taking care of yourself every day. The problem is, and this is what Brandon's talking about. The problem is you're not taking care of the things that can get you up to the top of the mountain.
Your mom and dad said, tone it down, have some reasonable, how many of you heard that? Reasonable goals, something attainable. And that what happens is when the goal is attainable, it's no longer exciting. Because if you can go get it easily, you're going to take it for granted.
If you can go get it easily, you're going to take it for granted.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I wake up this morning, there's no milk in my refrigerator. I don't drink milk, but I like milk to make froth for my cappuccino. And I like the froth really thick, so it takes a lot of milk, right? And I'm pissed off, man. There's no freaking milk. It's not that there's no milk, dude. I want the milk now, and I want it now more than ever because it's not in there. So if it's attainable, if $1 million was attainable to everybody, it wouldn't be worth anything. And by the way, it is attainable to everybody. So I believe that the bigger the giant, the more unattainable the goal is, okay, the least likely, if it's real for you, the least likely you are to give up on that goal. I think a lot of the reasons why you see people going down is because the goals are so low. Why would I be excited? Who could possibly be excited about making enough money to pay their bills?
This is what I did for 25 years, from 25 to 51 years old. Spent my most valuable asset, time, to get money, terrified every second of every day. That's really what's driven me the whole time, was terror. Like, when you don't know, you're gonna be scared. So I'm going out to get money. I won't spend any of it because I'm terrified if I can't, I don't know how to get more. I'm worried I can't keep getting more. So then I'd get the money and then I'd rush off and spend my most valuable asset, time, again, to bring it to the bank. They're telling me to save it and they don't. And so when I quit listening to everybody that's got an opinion about money online, or my neighbors or my uncles, and I started saying, what are they doing? When I quit studying the influencers and started studying the banks, Goldman, JP Morgan, KKR, there's just an endless list of these guys. You start studying those guys. Elon, study Elon. Elon doesn't keep any cash. He thinks the whole thing's a joke, which he's probably right. So what does he do? He reinvests everything. He's not paying debt off. He's accumulating debt. But Apple has debt, Google has debt, Facebook has debt, and they have cash reserves that are the biggest cash reserves on planet Earth. They could pay cash for everything, but they don't.
Why do they get debt when they have all the cash? Why do they do that?
Because if I take, man, you got a little whiteboard right here, man. God dang. Okay, so if I take, Apple just did this. Okay, I want to make a $90 billion purchase. I want to make and they're like, yeah, we got the cash for that. In fact, we have cash plus another 50%.
Yeah,
we got plenty of cash to do this. Okay, and then one of their people says, okay, bro, you do that? That is not a tax deductible event. What we should do is we should go keep this and go borrow $90 billion.
Really?
At like 0.005%. Like, they're gonna pay a half of 1% for this debt. Maybe they pay 1%, who cares? Right. They're like, I don't care, it's a tax deduction anyway.
Interesting.
So now they have the best of both worlds. They have their cash and they have debt. Now, when I was growing up, this debt would cost 10, 12, 15, 18%.
But it's so cheap now.
This debt, because we print money. Money is not scarce, like our parents told us. Like, when I was growing up, I bet you I heard at least from my mother, from the age of 10 to 15, if I didn't hear this 500 or 1,000 times, I never heard it once. We don't own the electric company. Turn those lights out, boy. I still have that going on today. My dad, my mom told me my dad would, because he worked so hard, dude. He was so like, oh, I finally got it. I finally made it. Now I got to protect it. He got stuck in the second piece, keeping it. You know, it's an emotional keep. And so it's not a rational thing because you're hoarding now, you know. Still today, man, it's tough for me to buy blue jeans if they're not on sale. I'm like, this is stupid, man. Like, well, I'm just going to wait.
Right.
You know? So you know what I'm saying? But it's really stupid that I even worry about it.
Right.
And I'm not saying on the come up, I think you should worry about it.
Right.
But there needs to be where you can turn that switch off.
I ask hard questions to get engagement. I'm forcing engagement. Because if I don't get engagement, I can never make a sale. Everybody agree? And what is a sale anyway? When I'm leading people, am I not trying to sell them on doing more? Exactly. I'm trying to get engagement. I'm trying to make a sale. Okay. Now I made the mistake in my career. Jared talked about this. I didn't get the engagement right first. I was always engaged. I've been engaged. I've been hungry the whole time. How many hungry in the room? I mean, I've been hungry the whole time. I just hadn't been hungry enough. I should have been thinking about how do I get thousands of people working for me? How do I get millions of people knowing me? I didn't know that that's what I was supposed to be doing. I was too worried about selling him one product so I could get the money because I was brought up and we didn't have anything. So for me, just to get $200, I was just get $200 over and over and over again. I never thought about scaling and saying, hey, how could I get millions of people to go get $200 and I get a little piece of it? I didn't understand the scale. I didn't understand 10X. 10X was written for me, it wasn't written for you. 10X just solved some of my problems. Okay, I've been in business 30 years. It's only the last 7 that changed my life. It wasn't the first 23. That's not uncommon, by the way. Okay, how old is Amazon? 25 years old. You would think they're 6 or 7 years old. Okay, when I heard they were 25 years old, I'm like, I cannot believe that. That means that guy grinded that thing out for 18 years. Okay, how many millennials in the room? Good, just remember this, Amazon is 25 years old. Amazon is older than you are. Which means what? When you see Tata saying, I got rich and it only took 5 minutes, okay? You need to be like, wait a minute, man. It took Amazon 25 years. It took Amazon 25 years to build that. It took Apple Computer 30 years of losing money, almost losing the company 3 times to become Apple Computer. So don't think that anything's gonna happen fast. It's not the good stuff. What you become is what you will be. Most people are sitting in the student chair too long. You're learning. You like learning, studying, reading, trying to get information. Dude, the way to trick the system is to become something as fast as possible. Don't keep learning. Buy something. This is the easiest, simplest way for somebody to become an investor. I did the deal. I bought the deal with my money, did the research with my money, my time, my energy in my 30 years. I used my cred with the banks and the real estate community to get the deal. That deal is $260 million. Your entire audience could not buy that deal by itself, even if it had the money, because it doesn't have the connection.
Yep.
So I'm buying the deal with my money and my debt. Then once I buy it and close it, I've taken all this risk out. Because once I buy it and close it, then I offer it up to my audience and say, same price that I paid, you can get in at. $1,000, $5,000, $10,000, whatever number you're comfortable with. So what happens is, one, your money's protected against inflation and deflation, okay, against the disruption and destruction of the dollar, which is what's happening right now, is they are purposely destroying the dollar. The very thing they told you for the last 30 years you should save and you should trade your most valuable asset for, they are now destroying the very thing that you've been saving. And they're penalizing you for having it because they pay you nothing to keep it. Understand that $1,000, and I'm going to answer your whole question here. Understand that $1,000 today at Bank of America or Wells Fargo, let me see, $1,000 today times pays $1.20.
Bullshit.
Let me see. Yeah, that's $1.20 anyway I do it.
Crazy.
Okay. Now, that's before you bought your checks. That's before you started the checking account. That's before you used the ATM. By the time the end of the year is, your $1,000 probably more like $920. Probably cost you $80 just to have a checking account. So number one, you become an investor. Number two, you get cash flow every quarter. Number three, I expect that building to be a double or a triple. So I'm paying $260 for the building. If I sell it for $340, we make a double.
I think the building's going to sell for $500 million when I sell it. The location's ridiculous. Can't replace it. It's 99% occupied right now. It's a trophy quality asset. It's in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, one of the hottest markets in the country. And when I sell this, I will be selling it to an institution. And the reason that's important is because most of us that are earning $50 a night, you have to buy the leftovers, man. You know, we're buying leftovers. We're buying the garbage in the community, the duplex, the single family home. These are the same homes that went back to the banks in 2010. And you don't want to be in that stuff. What you want to be is the trophy stuff that somebody always finds value in.
Yep.
So I think the return is 5 to 6% in the first year, paid out quarterly. We pass through the depreciation to you, so you won't be paying taxes for the first couple of years on your income. And I think you get a double or a triple off your money. So if you put in 10 grand, I think you're looking at your money being 20 or 30,000 over the next 5, 6, 7 years.
Your department and your household has a financial statement. If you look up the word economics in the dictionary, economics means management of a household. And this is where people go a little fuzzy right now. You could be going fuzzy. What's he talking about? I'm talking about your damn money. Just right on here, my damn money. That's what finances is. It's my money. You know, how many of you seen that little t-shirt I got? It's like, who's got my money? That's what this is. A professional baseball player said he was retired. He's a retired professional baseball player. He's like, he's in business for himself now. He's like, when you said, who's got my money? He's like, literally changed my entire business. He's like, I was spending time on a bunch of complicated stuff and wasn't doing what I knew to do in baseball. In baseball, if you're a batter, what's the game? Get on base. It's not hit the ball. It's get on base. You could get hit by the ball and you'll celebrate yourself, right? It's get on base. Once you get on base, what's the next thing you want to do? You want to advance. Okay, in finance, you need to advance your finances. Everybody agree? The way to advance finances is not to shrink the bottom 2/3 of this statement. It is to grow the top line of the statement. Same thing for your household. Your household needs more income. Chris, the police officer, if he wants more money, he cannot reduce his expenses as far as he can raise his income. You can only reduce your expenses to 0. Everybody agree? I can only reduce so far. What can I do with income? If Chris got really creative, how far could his income go? It's unstoppable, it's unlimited. He can only, no matter how bright he is or how smart he is, a company, an individual, household can only take their expenses so low. Money follows attention, and attention follows money. You know, you guys have probably heard me say before, money follows attention, money follows attention. You need to hear the second side of this. Attention follows money too. Anybody thinks attention doesn't follow money? You are wrong. Attention follows money. Attention follows success. On this planet, the way you measure things is how much money do they make? Okay, Elon Musk became one of the richest people in the world last week. That's for real. They've been counting him out, man. His car company's worth more than Ford Motor Company today. Like he sells, you know, a tenth of what they sell. Like money follows attention and attention follows money. Be successful with your money. These big real estate deals we're doing, man, I'm telling you, man, it's got a lot of people's attention. Okay, people's attention goes to what people are doing. So the way for you to spread that message is to be an example. People need help. Why am I doing this? I am the only guy in the real estate space doing an event like this. Like, I'm not trying to sell, you don't have to buy a course from me. You don't have to do anything with me. I'd love for you to do more stuff with me. I'd like to get to know you better and all that. I'm doing this because I'd love for you. There's plenty of real estate on this planet. I can't buy it all. It's impossible. You can go buy your deals. He can buy his deals. Robert can buy his deals. I can buy all my deals, and there's still lots of deals. Like, there's no shortage of deals. I also look for people that I could like, hey man, how could I do deals together with people and scale faster? Because I'd rather this much of 80 billion than that much or 2 billion. I'd rather little tiny exquisite. You know, and that's how all these guys do it. I mean, you want to get to the top of the food chain and make a legacy and really leave something big, you start thinking big. You start thinking 10 times, whatever you're thinking 10 times. Knowing I couldn't help my mom when I was 10, 12, 15, 20 years old was a long period of suffering for me. It caused me grief, not the grief of the loss of my father, grief that I couldn't provide, solve my mother's problem. It wasn't really about providing for her. It was about, I wanted to solve this one problem she had, which was scared about money. She's clipping coupons like so many families do around the world, you know. Maybe it's not coupons, but the Groupon or the deal or the plumber or the car dealer's going to take advantage of you. The roofer's going to come out and rip you off, so you got to get 3 and 4 bids. And people are plagued by this all the time, you know. And
do you think that fear was very practical in the early stages of your development as to who you are today?
No, it was ridiculous, unnecessary, and very costly.
But would you be who you were today if it were not for that?
No, I would be somebody much greater.
Really?
Oh, totally.
You don't think?
Completely, it was pain. It was a mistake. Financially, it was a mistake.
Right.
And it was a mistake spiritually.
Okay.
There is no reason to grab something that has been made, that has been manufactured, and then worry about it. Worry about losing it. It wasn't even mine to begin with, and it's not going to be mine in the end.
But that, in essence, is almost like the symbol. The real, it's the underlying fear is what drove you. That was just the symbol of fear. That was the, I guess, in respect
No. It was a mistake.
A mistake? Wow.
Totally.
Because I actually heard you talk about failure and how you hate failure. You know, which is kind of...
Well, anybody that enjoys failing and losing is delusional. This is what success looks like. It should be just like this. It should be just like that. Okay? It shouldn't be up and down and up and down and up and down and up and down. It shouldn't be good month, bad month, good month, bad month, good month. It shouldn't be that. You know why? If I get rid of the downs, what do I end up with? All ups, man. Everything that my dad did, and the Dave Ramsey program, and all the conservative, save your money, plan for retirement, what do you call it here, the super fund?
Yeah, superannuation.
Plan for it, make sure the house is paid for. I had all that handled. And then that economic collapse happened. Bam, 3 companies. I thought I was good because I had multiple flows. I had real estate paying me. Got cracked. We didn't go down. We didn't lose anything, but I went back into that fear. That fear of like, oh my God, all this is going to be taken away. And so once I got over the fear, I'm like, okay, what's really happening here? And what I came up with was that I had not accumulated enough. Unfortunately, and a lot of your audience will hate this idea because it's going back to that, how much is enough and all that.
But if we can flip that just in this moment for a second, it's not so much about how much it's enough, it's about how much we have that enables us to do. I'm assuming you're not doing what you're doing just for the sake of having.
Like
there's something deeper that's kind of driving behind
why, you know, I don't, like if I just wanted to sit in a condo in Miami and on the beach and just get sun every day, and I don't need a jet to do that. Like I can just stay there, right? And like we're doing a lot of traveling right now.
Yeah.
And I want to be with my kids. So if you want to be with your kids and have a nanny and drag them around and, you know, do the thing, then you got to have some equipment to go with it. And all that takes money. Well, that's what happened in 2010. I had just been thinking too small the whole time. It goes back to that saving money. I shouldn't have been saving money, dude. I should have been using my money to build my brand out. So that when that collapse happened, when a major contraction happens, there's one winner, one group of winners. Who's the best known? And who can deliver at the marketplace at the lowest price?
Yeah.
That's who wins every time. Who's best known and who can deliver in the greatest quantities at the lowest price. The only people that can do that are the people that are in the best, come on in, Elena, the people in the best financial shape.
Yeah.
You know, if you're in great financial shape, I couldn't take advantage of 2010.
Yeah, right.
The super wealthy.
Because you're on the defensive.
Dude, I was on defensive and I didn't know what I was doing. Blackstone's sitting there. The collapse happens. They're like, okay, what's going on here? Okay, what can we do now? They're having their drinks. Different than America. America's drinking to get drunk to forget this happened. Blackstone's in there having drinks, figuring out, okay, how do we take advantage of this? Okay, they bought 10,000 homes in Miami, okay, along the beach. 10,000 condos, put them together, pay cash for them. Like, you want to be in a position for your family. If you want to have a legacy, if you're thinking about more than just
I'm talking to the audience. If you're thinking about more than just paying the bills.
Yep.
And my dad couldn't do that when my dad died. And he would have wanted to. If he was sitting here right now, he'd be like, hey man, you're doing the right thing. Because I left you guys in a position I shouldn't have. Even though he did great, he did. Yeah. He had accumulated the American dream. But when he died, because he wasn't working anymore, because the income stopped, life insurance kicked in. We had to pay the house was paid off. She had some money. He had some money in a cash account. So my mom got all that. But when she looked at it, she's like, "This could go away."
Yeah.
And she went into fear and terror. And that's really my message to people today. That is still a bit polarizing. I haven't figured out how to deliver it yet.
Yeah.
Is that look, you don't have enough. And the people that get punished are not just people in poverty. It's all the people in the middle.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be that guy anymore.
When you go to a new land, a new place, or a new planet, you have to make investments in the environment and hope that, hey, if I keep doing this, if I keep making these deposits, whether it's me going to the gym, I don't know if the gym worked for me this morning. I know if I can stack up enough gym visits, if I go to church enough, hey man, maybe some of it will rub off on me. I'll become a good guy one day, okay? If I make enough investments in people and human beings and talking to people, we were out here shooting some video today and I'm like, hey, how you guys doing? How you guys doing? How you guys? The only reason I'm doing that is to make investments in people. Because if I do that often enough, I'm practicing extroverting myself to communicate to people. Because everything that I want, everything that's going to be good in my life is going to come through other people. It's not going to come because I sat in a room by myself. It's going to come my wife and I and Michael, and we went out into the marketplace and actually moved some people around. Like you're coming to my event now, right?
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, exactly. See?
As long as I got money, somebody will make for me.
Yeah.
As long as I have influence, money, as long as I have the gold. Look, if you have the gold, you make the rules. And that has existed for thousands of years. It will never be violated. That is the rule. And I know people say it sounds terrible. I always looked at this game like I want to have the gold. I want to make the rules. I'll find somebody that gave up on their dreams. Billions of people give up on their dreams every day. You're never going to you're not going to fix that shortage overnight. I would encourage everybody to become more like me, so that at least you get on the other side of this rainbow and say, "Oh, I know what it looks like over here." Because most people never even get.
Why?
Because people ask this question that you just asked, and that question is based on a give up. It's based on a surrender to the game.
Okay.
Should everybody play the game? Yeah, everybody should play the game. Should everybody learn backgammon? Yes, because you should learn backgammon because it's a cool game to play. Should everybody learn how to make money? Yeah, you should, because if you give up before you do it,
you'll never know.
You'll never know, man. And I'm telling you, money. Like just this concept, money won't make you happy. Where did that come from?
Lies and deception.
Who told you?
Lies and deception.
Yeah, because most people that say money won't make you happy don't have any money or they're trying to get your money.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you, money has made me happier. As long as you get the right amount of it.
Nobody ever got rich buying homes, ever in the history of the world, number one. Number two, never in the history of the world has there been wealth created because you saved money. Okay? People should be investing money first in themselves to get great at something. I don't care what it is. Waiting tables, bussing tables. Like you got to get great at something first. You don't need to become an investor first, except in yourself. I was 25 years old, got out of a treatment center for drug addiction. I was $40,000 worth of debt. Like nobody trusted me. Nobody believed in me. I didn't believe in me. I had no self-esteem. I was wrecked. Nobody to look to. And I'm like, I got one thing in front of me, my job. It was a layup, right? In basketball, it was the easiest shot I could take. I need to get good at this job. And I hated the job I had, by the way. It's not like I loved it or had a passion for it. I'm like, I need to just put my head down, focus on this one thing and learn how to increase my income and get control of that. So I invested in me and I started getting better at my job. That's all I did. When I got a little bit of confidence that was starting to move forward and I had a little extra money, $3,000, $4,000, I started figuring out, okay, what can I do with this money so this money could start working? And that has been, I don't code anything. I don't know anything about technology. Like I've started a bunch of businesses with no money, no debt, written 8 books now, because what I'm sharing with people is what worked for me. And I'm just telling people, like, this worked for me. This took me from nothing to
having a number of businesses that are very, very successful with no debt. We borrowed no money to start the first companies, a lot of hard work. And then when I got any extra dough, what I did was I took it and put it in one place where I knew I would not lose it. And for me, that's not the stock market. It's definitely not the crypto market. It's not bonds. It's not paper. Like, I don't want to trade a piece of paper that everybody knows is garbage. I think everybody knows that. You know, this piece of paper is full of lies. It's got lies all over it. You know, it's got a guy I don't know. I thought he was a president. He's not. It's got the White House on the back. It's got "In God We Trust." I mean, this is fabricated. This is worth no more than this piece of paper right here. Like, why would I trade one piece of paper for another bullshit piece of garbage paper that Wall Street certifies just because they put their little stamp on it, call themselves BlackRock or Blackstone or Goldman, you know, or JP Morgan? These people are making trillions and trillions of dollars. We need to think more like those guys than like your uncle who's saving money in the backyard.
You better get excited now, because if you're not going to get excited now, nobody will give you this money. Nobody will give you this money. Money follows attention. How much attention can I get in the marketplace is where money goes. Money does not go to the best product, ever. Money does not go to the best product. Money does not go to the happiest place either. Money goes to where attention goes. Whoever gets the most attention gets the most money. Action, massive action, has always worked. It's proven itself for thousands of years. This is not a new concept. You show me somebody, and we know their name, anybody in the room, any famous person that you can think of. Anybody that we would both know. You say, I'm going to mention their name, and Grant will know who that is. Give me a name of one person.
Tiger Woods.
Massive action. Persistent, massive action. Okay? Okay, how many people were watching the Open yesterday? Yeah, exactly. Why? Because Tiger was in it. Attention. Money follows attention. Money follows attention. How much attention can you get? Even bad attention. Okay, I'm going to tell you something. What Tiger went through in the last decade helped him. You got more white people pulling for Tiger Woods, right? They're like, Tiger, grown white men, Tiger. And we say there's division in this country. Tiger, I love Tiger, right? Why? Because they love a comeback, man. The guy got a lot of attention. Okay, who else? Give me another name. Oh my God, I didn't know it was going to be this kind of meeting. If I'd have known it was going to be this kind of meeting, I'd charge you double.
Donald Trump.
Donald Trump. Everybody knows him, okay? Money follows attention. Success and power follow attention. Okay, you can not like the guy, but could you handle that much heat every day? Could you handle that many people not liking you every day? Because if you're going to be a leader, if you're going to be a real leader, okay, if you're going to be at the top of the food chain kind of leader, people aren't going to like you.
You know, this morning I got up, took my kids to school. I took them by myself. I didn't want my wife in the car with me. I want to take them. I want to spend time with them. By the way, I'm the one that put them to sleep last night. I put them to bed. Tell them a story. I do a little dance for them. Boom, I put them down. You know, so I'm looking for moments to be that guy, right? So like that's the whole 10X thing. The 10X thing has nothing to do with balance. If you look for balance, you're going to miss this whole deal. Like I'm not playing the balance game. I'm playing the 10X game. The 10X game is, look, I'm going to be a superhero to myself, though. I'm trying to be my hero. So you got to make time, man. Like, most of my career, I didn't have kids. They just came on 8 years ago. And so I had to change my schedule a little bit. But all you really have to do is just make it a priority. Say, okay, I'm going to find time for them. And the second part is you also need to get some help around. You need to get some help so that you can do the other things you need to do so that you don't turn into an 8-year-old. You know, see, it's fun for me to dip in and out, but I have help around to support me with the rest of the time, because the reality is it's not my purpose to be with Sabrina 8 hours a day. You know, my job's to be with My job's my goal and my dream is to run my business, influence people, help people, learn my own stuff to 8 hours a day. I got my own school I'm going to. So, also on the weekends, like my job's not to spend what's 2 days, Saturday and Sunday, that's 48 hours. My job as a father is not to spend 48 hours with my kids nonstop. My job's to spend some good quality time with my kids, make sure I influence them as a father, and then let them go crazy with somebody else.
If you count all the live stuff that we do on streams, I mean, it's every day. But I started my career, I started my career, I was probably doing 8 a day.
8?
A day.
Wow.
Every day.
Training.
For 250 days of the year.
Oh my goodness.
That were anywhere from 15 minutes if I could get a company to listen to me. These were free presentations. I was trying to, we were talking about the importance of communication. I was trying to get known. In America. And the way I did that was I'd go knock on doors and say, hey, I have an idea for your business. I'd like to tell you about it. I'd like to share it with your employees. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. And just listen to me for 20 minutes. So those were I did tens of thousands of those in order to get known.
And they were converting into business?
Well, I didn't know what I was doing. They were. The goal was to convert. But it took me 3 years to ever make any money. This is before I'd written a book. I didn't have a name. Nobody knew Grant Cardone. And, I hadn't quite figured out me yet. But every once in a while, somebody would say, yeah, we like your ideas and we want to do this. And then they would go to this event that I would plan 2 weeks later. So I had 2 weeks planned for an event.
Oh, wow.
Like, how hard events are to do.
Incredibly.
Yeah. So we figured out how to put, 200 or 300 people, the right people in a room for an event. We took 14 days to market it. It was me doing all the marketing.
14 days.
14 days I would market. I would go, but I'm calling on businesses door to door.
Yeah.
And very much a marketing and sales job. Very, very, most difficult thing I've ever done in my life. I was 30 years old. So, I was doing 250 gigs a year, then a promotional company picked me up and we started doing 8 of those larger events a month. So I was doing 100 speaking gigs a month, a year.
A year? That's
a year.
A lot. Do you not feel like when you're up on stage, giving,
yeah. No, I did 1 hour in Bucharest. I got on my plane and I was just like, wham, And it was only 1 hour. That's when I was doing 8 hours. Going to the next city doing 8 hours. Not only was it extremely taxing on me, it wasn't good for me, and I don't know that it was good for the audience. It definitely wasn't good for me as a businessman because I was spending too much time speaking and not enough time in my business. Today we flipped the model where I'm spending more time in my business and less time on stages.
You're gonna get what you go look for. If you're looking for a purple elephant, you'll find one this weekend, even though there's not one on this planet. How many of you are going to look for a purple elephant? Look for one. I'll bet you find one. Okay? If you look for a 32-unit deal, you'll find a 32-unit deal. If you look for the credit, you'll find the credit, you'll find the debt, you'll find the cash, you'll find the deals. If you're looking for a partner, you can find a partner. If all you do is keep looking for excuses, I don't have time, I don't have money, I can't do it, I'm black, I'm brown, I'm too young, I'm too old, I'm a girl, I'm this, I got a job, I'm too young. How old are you, man? Now's the time, baby. Now's the time, bro. You 3 years behind Alexander the Great. You understand that? Alexander the Great had taken over all of Persia. And you 19 years old. It's time, man. I'm taking you under my wing, man. Okay? I'm your guy. I dare you to take me up one, okay? Come spend 2 or 3 weeks in my offices here in Miami. We'll put you up. You can literally, what's it called, the interning? You're gonna intern with me. You're gonna be by my side. I'm gonna crack with you every day, man. Why she crying? Why she crying?
I'm just dynamic.
Why she crying?
Really believe.
Huh?
Does she really believe?
Of course she does, dude.
Your mother.
My dad died when I was 10 years old, man. I needed a man, okay? His mom is probably a great mom. She can't be a mom and a dad. The better the mom you are, the worse the dad. So I'm a good father. I am a terrible mother. I'm like, jump! My wife is like, we're on the 30th floor. Like I'm a father, I'm a guy, right? So it's a different vibe. And my mom tried to be a mom and a dad, and she couldn't. And so you be the mom, I don't know where your dad is, but if I could anyway. And by the way, the mom and the dad can only do so much, and then an uncle needs to step in. Okay. So if you want to take me up on that, hit Andy, okay? And we'll hook you up, okay? All right, guys, let's get back in there. Appreciate you being here. I hope you continue to do more stuff with us. I'll see you back in there.
I want my employees to stay broke. I don't want employees sitting with cash. Cash means Porsches. And Porsches mean he's going to be in trouble. Every person I've ever seen work for me that does this stuff, before they get their investments right, they go buy junk, H belts, big watches. They can't afford the new one, a real Hublot, so they go buy a big, $80 watch. Dude, when you start seeing indicators of that, people start playing all that stuff. They're doing bottle service over at Live on the weekends, acting like free money will end up at Live. So, Steve, when you came to work for me, how much money were you making?
$3,000 a month.
$3,000 a month, okay? You can't live on $3,000 a month in Miami. Every day we would tell them, you cannot live on $3,000 a month in Miami. It's impossible. Just tell them. So it's impossible. So tell people the truth. Is it the truth? Can you live on $3,000 in any city in America? Not without fear. You can live on it, but not without fear. And that's what you need to tell your people, folks. You need to leave here if you want your people all on the same page. How many like to have everybody highly motivated? Say yay. How many like to have everybody around you really engaged? How many of you like to be surrounded by friends that are actually talking about, hey, let's all do better, rather than make sense of how they're doing? Okay? How many of you like to pay for the fuel in my plane for us to go someplace? But you can't. And that's a damn shame. Okay? Like that should be your goal. Hey, I want Grant to pick me up. Are you going to pick me up in your plane? Like, think that big, folks. Think that big. Get people around you thinking that big, all right? When you go to dinner, don't worry about, hey guys, okay, let's all throw the card in. Really? You should be fighting to pay for the bill. The money's out there. It's not your money. It's this. It's this.
Money's garbage. It's garbage. It's not really what you want because it gets taxed heavily. So, and this is another thing, the ball players don't understand this. Most of the middle class doesn't understand it. The guy making 50 racks a year doesn't. The guy making 500 racks a year doesn't understand it. The guy working at Facebook doesn't understand. He knows how to code. He don't know how to beat the tax man. And the way to beat the tax man is with real estate. It is the last venue where, and I'm not talking about a house. I'm talking about buying like this piece of real estate right behind me right there. That piece of real estate is $260 million. Now, I didn't start with that. My first deal was a $3 million deal. I made $5 million on it. One deal. And paid no taxes. And when I did that first deal, man, I put $350,000 down. I borrowed it from my mom and a brother. And I turned $350,000 into $5 million and didn't have to go through the bullshit that I was going through every single day. And I'm like, oh my God, this is a game, man. When I went to file my taxes, the guy showed me how not to pay taxes on it. I'm like, okay, I'm good. And I've been doing that. I now have $4 billion worth of real estate. I started with $300,000, borrowed money. I got $4 billion. This deal right here is $250 million. And what I've learned over the last 25 years is this game is it's a rigged game and it's on stack. It's all stacked against the little guy and the middle guy. And so what I decided to do was I promised my mom when I was 15 years old, Dorian, I said, if I ever make it, I'm going to help the little guy out. Because I grew up with a single mother, 5 kids. She was freaking frightened all it. She never got a shot at that stuff. You know, if my family got to buy a house that you got to pay for, if we could buy a house and pay it off, that was freaking that was the American dream. That ain't a dream, bro. That's prison. That right there behind me, cash flow day one, trophy asset, appreciation 2 and 3 and 4 times. Most of this real estate's been doubling every decade. Trophy, institutional quality, great write-offs, everything the wealthy look for in an investment. So I'm buying this deal, and then I open it up to my friends and followers on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. $1,000, with $1,000, you can partner with me in that deal. And it's important for everybody to know, like, oh my God, this guy's going to raise money from everybody. I could have gotten one company, one bank would have given me the entire amount of money that I'm raising for my friends. One bank said, hey, I'll give you I'll give you all the money for the deal. And you be the partner in the deal, Grant, you run the deal, we'll be the money. And I didn't take the money because I want my friends, my followers, the people on this, I want to give people a shot. So, because you're easier to deal with, Dorian, I'd rather you be my partner in the deal than Bank of America.
Because you made it this far in a video, I want to celebrate you. Most people start and don't finish. Most people never actually follow through. Most people say they want something, but they don't ever do the work to actually get it. But you're different. You are special. Believe Nation, you made it here all the way to the end, and I love you. So as a special celebration, if you put a hashtag believe down in the comments below on this video, I will showcase you and celebrate you somewhere on the screen in a future video because you are awesome. For 10 more amazing rules from Gary Vaynerchuk, check the video right there next to me. I think you'll love it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.
I believe that artists are happy to live by financial humble means to be able to draw. And if that means they'll make $63,000 a year scrapping by a side job and selling a couple of paintings,